Welcome back to another episode of Life's a Garden. Today's guest is all about family. She is a wife and a mother to two awesome kids. She also runs her own business selling acrylic nails, to which I will leave a link in the description for anybody out there who's interested in that. Very excited to talk to her about what it's like raising a family in today's society. And of course, we're going to talk about all kinds of other stuff. So let's get into it. All the way from right next door. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Larissa Lee. All right, made the long journey all the way from right next door. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It will.
I heard the kids howling on your way out.
All crying. They did not want to let me go. But
Yeah.
I was like, I'm right next door. It's okay.
Well, and like you were saying too, you're not away from them too often, so.
Exactly. The mom life, I love it though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you said you were just getting over being sick, which seems like is a pretty frequent.
Yes. I don't understand it. Like it's not like we go a million places, but I mean, Peyton with her just doing gymnastics too for her first one, and she didn't get sick. It was me and Coulter not feeling good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But I suppose with kids, that's kind of part of the gig is they bring home illnesses and things like that. But they're not even really in school yet though.
No, and that's just it. Yeah, I mean, we do play dates, but nothing. I mean, go to the grocery store.
Right.
So Target, I mean, things like that too, but I don't know. I know kindergarten is going to be a whole different ball game here in a month.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
a little
that's
under a
coming up
month.
soon.
Yes.
Ooh.
She's excited, but she's I think I'm more nervous.
Really?
Yeah, but she also is. It's going to be that, well, like we were just talking about getting used to being away from mom, which gymnastics should help with that, but...
Oh, are you not there with her? Or?
So it's a 40-minute class.
Uh-huh.
But, she's over, like, there's a bar, and they're on the other side with all the gymnastics equipment.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So she's not with me, but I'm in the room. But I think it's a step for the right direction of, like, at least getting comfortable of not being side by side all the time like I always am.
Sure. Well, yeah, that is a good, like, especially now that it's getting closer to the school year, that is, like, a nice little segue for her to be with other kids.
Exactly.
Other adults. And
Yeah.
then, obviously, have to go into the school, which is going to be...
That's going to be rough. Yeah.
I remember being... And because you wonder how much the trauma of this bleeds into your, like, adult life.
Right.
Because there's always little traumas as a kid that just, like, stick into your psyche.
Yeah.
And every kid goes through it where they watch their mom drive away.
Yes.
They leave you in this strange place with all these strange people and then drive away. I still to this day remember vividly getting dropped off it was like preschool. It wasn't.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And just being like, where are you going? Like, you're leaving me?
Yeah.
And then, so I remember the whole day I was just like sad about my mom leaving.
Yeah.
And then, I kind of got, I finally had kind of accepted what was going on. And I walk out, we're at like recess or whatever. And these girls, they're like, don't step on the crack or you'll break your mama's back. And then I look down, my foot's on the crack. I'm like, oh, no. And then they reminded me that mom wasn't there. And so
Oh, man.
it was, yeah.
That is kind of traumatizing.
It is.
I don't know. So before Peyton, I had 10 years experience in childcare.
Oh,
and
okay.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The only, trying to think. Mainly, I did the YMCA. I was a lead at the YMCA in Seattle when I lived there. And then I was also just a membership front desk when I was here for a year before moving out to Seattle. And I loved it, but children, it was just my passion of working with children. I did work in a preschool. I was a preschool lead teacher. But I also did daycare as well. I mean, it was just kind of a little of both. And I thought I had it all down. I thought it was like, okay, this is like, I know what I'm doing. It's perfect. And, I'll be a pro mom. No.
It's always different.
So different with your kid. Like,
I'm sure that didn't hurt though. Like you probably picked up some tips and tricks on how to deal with certain situations, things like that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Definitely picked up a lot. And we had I had some really good influences of parents. I still talk to some of my daycare parents. We, still are on Facebook and we're able to keep in touch, but it's like if I ever have questions, I can definitely go to them. So that's always been really nice. Or I picked up on different techniques that have always worked with Peyton too. So it is hard sometimes. I get this thing where you like talk to them and it's like, okay, the next step, this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And for Peyton, it doesn't work that way because it overwhelms her. But like, I'm so used to doing that kind of thing because that's what worked with all my daycare kids. And it's what you're trained to do in daycare.
Sure. And
preschool. So, you kind of have to find your feel. But it is funny how you get this cockiness. You're like, I got this.
An overconfidence a little bit.
Or I am not going to do that as a parent. I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to do,
And then you end up kind of doing some of those things.
Oh, yeah, the screen time thing. Screen time. I mean, we do limit it, but I was not going to do that. And Coulter and Peyton both.
So is it more of like is it more of just like a distraction thing for them? Or is it just like, how do you look at it with the screen time thing? Like just accepting the fact that they're doing it? Is it just because it's easier for them to be entertained? Is it just because that's kind of where the world is now? Like,
it's for us, it's a lot of learning type things. Mm-hmm. So it's like I got ABC Mouse for Peyton that we absolutely love. She uses it. Coulter started using it with her. He's still kind of young for it, but he's picked up on it pretty well with her. So we view screen time, I'm still not one of those that it's just like always giving them the screens. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it is a distraction too. It's like, okay, I've got to get dishes done. They're, needing your attention. So, or like I haven't had time to do dishes. They're piling up. I mean, I've had them overflowing and it's like, all right, you guys have like 20 minutes, sit down. But I never even thought I was going to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we do view it more as a, or like a wind down. I know like technically at night you're not supposed to, have them do it before bed.
Is it because it's like an overstimulation
yes.
or something? Oh.
Yep. And it's harder. And I have noticed that with them.
Really?
Or where we give it to them a little too much. And then, we have meltdowns or, but it's good to learn that because then you learn what you can and can't do. I mean, right now, like with the getting into kindergarten, it'll be nice because we'll get Coulter into more of a routine. We're just kind of go with the flow, like do what we feel like doing type family. And it's always worked for us. But now reality's hitting. So
well, and I always thought about just speaking upon the screen time stuff or video games or things like that, because it's I guess growing up, it was always kind of the thing of like kids don't go outside anymore. Kids are more like stuck inside on the computer or whatever,
Yeah.
And obviously I don't have kids, but it's still one of those things that I think about, like, if I had kids, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do this or I'm going to do this.
Right.
But now we're kind of stuck in that area where if they don't have the ability to, like, know how to navigate a phone or the internet or, like, even, like, do things like coding, which is, that's obviously pretty advanced, but, like,
right.
That's where the world's going. So if they don't embrace that, they're going to be left behind.
It's true.
So now it's kind of almost a must, but then you do want to find that balance of, like, outside, just, like, experiencing the world for not virtual. Like,
right. That's true. Yeah.
It's got to be a weird time to... And you know what? It's funny to say that because I think every time is a weird time for parents to raise their kids because they're always a different generation than the one you were in.
Oh, for sure.
So you always have to accept the newest generation of things that are coming.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure our parents, obviously with video games and stuff like that becoming more popular, that was a different thing from their childhood.
Oh, yeah.
And so now it's different for us too with the new kid, with younger kids.
And that's what I kind of appreciate when my dad will have, or my mother-in-law, or somebody will have, you know, kind of tips on things from back. Because, I mean, I remember from when we were a kid, but I'm so used to our days now and, like, how we've grown up. I mean, like, I appreciate, you know, if they have a suggestion of something.
Sure.
You know, some people get upset or angry for it. I appreciate it. Like, if people are down your throat about it, no, you're doing it the wrong way. You shouldn't do it this way. You know, I don't like that kind of thing. But
Right.
I do appreciate, you know, hey, maybe you should try this. Or this worked for you as a child. Peyton is literally my mini. She's my mini. Coulter is Chris's mini. It's just like a lot of things Coulter has, Chris had. A lot of things. I mean, Peyton's identical. Attitude, personality, and looks. Like,
That's hilarious.
she saw a picture of me the other day and thought it was her.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess you know, that's how it kind of should be, though, right?
It should, exactly. We got the perfect, like, and I think I just steered off of what we were talking about, but, like, she got the perfect, okay. Yeah, I veered off the wrong way.
Oh, you're fine. It happens.
Yeah. Well, and, like, yeah, I do this often. But anyways, yeah, we did. We got the perfect mix. We got the boy and the girl. You know, each of them are our minis. But that is the thing. Like, I do get a lot of suggestions from my dad on raising Peyton. For some reason, like, Coulter, and you know, with his craziness, and he's all over the place. But I, like, when I did childcare, I had boys like crazy in the classroom. I mean, we had a handful of girls, and it was a ton of boys. And it was scary just because like, having that many of them.
Mm-hmm.
But Coulter's about having 5 kids in one.
Yeah, he's pretty rambunctious.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm like, you get super used to it. But, you know, my mind is just so all on what he's doing and all over the place all the time. You know, and so, I don't know. But anyways, yeah.
It's also nice, too, though, that they have each other. Because,
Yes.
And, like, for me, I grew up with my brother and sister, but we
Right.
weren't necessarily, like, close.
Okay.
And it's like, I can see that they're going to be close so long as, like, the
Oh, yeah.
relationship stays the way, and I wouldn't imagine it wouldn't, but, like...
I wouldn't either, yeah.
So it's cool to know that they're going to grow up and be a little bit closer and things like that. It's just hard for me to relate to things like that. Like, not that me and my siblings aren't close, but
Right.
maybe not to the extent of, like, some other sibling relationships I've seen with
Definitely.
my friends and things like that. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think it's nice for siblings to have, you know, for you to have a sibling, at least one or two.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed, like, I could be wrong, but this was just, like, you know, from observing, even when I had, like, my 2 stepsisters, it always seems, and I've talked to numerous other people, you know, who have had a set of 3, that somebody gets left out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what was your experience with that? Because you have brother, sister, so there's 3 of you guys.
Honestly, I think we were all kind of just independent.
Okay.
And I think that was kind of part of it well, for a while growing up, me and my sister, my youngest sister, who's the closest in age to me, we're only like 2.5 years different.
Okay.
And we would play and stuff like that, but it's also one of those things where, like, I was the older brother, so, like, I think it's different when the sister's the older one.
Yeah.
Because it's easier for you to look up to a sister and, like, want to be more involved with what
I
she's
could see
doing.
that, yeah.
Where, like, it's kind of lame, you know, in the society eye, like, that's how you see it as a kid, is, like, to hang out with your younger sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Where, like, an older sister doesn't see it that way. I would.
That's true.
It's like they want to hang out with their younger brother and, like, teach him things and stuff like that. I don't know. It's definitely, like, some kind of weird social dynamic that you just, like, get ingrained when you're a kid. Like, I want to hang out with my guy friends and things like that.
Yeah.
But me and her did play and things like that.
Because you said you did Barbies with her, and she
Sure.
would. Because I saw the podcast that you 2 did together.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like she would do all the boy things with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's see, I love that, because that's what Peyton and Coulter do. They do the same thing. I mean, she's constantly having him play Barbies, but then they're playing Paw Patrol and they're playing police officer and criminal and
Right.
just all that fun stuff. Tonka trucks. Peyton loves Tonka trucks, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, Coulter loves. He'll get mad at me someday for this. He loves dressing up.
Oh yeah.
It just, you've seen a picture
I've
of it.
done that too.
Yeah. Definitely.
I remember doing that stuff, and
it's
whatever.
cute though. It's fun. It's it's siblings playing together. It should be.
Yeah, well,
you would hope it'd be that way.
It is funny. That's one of those things where like you're embarrassed about it,
Yeah.
and then you realize it's like I was a kid.
Exactly.
Like any of the weird, like whether it was weird or embarrassing or whatever stuff that I did as a kid, it's just like you got to remind yourself, kids do like goofy stuff, and like they're just discovering the world. So it's like,
oh, exactly.
But yeah, it makes me wonder how different maybe my relationship with my siblings would be if our if our family situation was a little bit more stable.
Yeah, that's true.
That definitely made an impact on the way like our relationships were, because I mean, it's I've talked about it on the podcast before as far as like my mom and my dad. Like obviously my dad wasn't really even in the dynamic of the picture, and
right.
They have a different dad. But like my mom went to jail, and was gone for like 8 years, I want to say.
Okay.
6 to 8 years, somewhere in there. So like Asia was gone with her aunt a lot. I lived with my uncle or my grandma. We kind of just moved around a lot.
Yeah.
And then rather than being in one stationary spot, plus there's also that thing where it's like I kind of didn't want to be home a lot.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to just go hang out with my friends somewhere. And I think she felt the same way. So we didn't really. And then my brother probably was the one that got left behind the most, because he was the most in an age gap. Like I think he's 8 years different.
Okay.
From me.
Okay.
So 6 from her.
And you're the oldest obviously out of both of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then we have an older sister too, but she wasn't really.
That's right.
Around. And so. Yeah, he definitely was the one that got left out the most, just because of the big age gap, and I think a lot of that dynamic died out just because of our living situation. So like I wasn't so much a big brother role model thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I was, but I wasn't what I should have been.
Do you think that maybe nowadays more you guys are, or
no? I think we're all just kind of independent and do our own thing still. Like it's not without trying.
Right.
It's more of just like, I don't know. I think we just have our own lives now.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. We
just definitely
are our own individuals, and
well, it's like you care about each other, that's a given.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get your own life, and you do, I noticed that too, just even like having step siblings growing up. I mean, like I had such a whole different dynamic of my situation. But like, me and my biological sister, my blood sister, I mean, we had the greatest relationship growing up, and we're trying super hard to this day. It's hard. I feel family relationships can be really tough.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any family that would agree that they're perfect.
Exactly.
And if they are, they're lying.
They're lying, exactly. That is so true. I mean, you could try all you want, but there's always something. There's always some kind of, I don't know, just, yeah. You learn to deal with it. You learn to live with it. I mean, like growing up, like I said, with my sister, and then I went from, my parents, and they went through their divorce, and then I went into, having step siblings, but I mean, like I saw them as my sisters, but it's always still, you're still piecing together, and, trying to make relationships work. And then I went off to college not that long after. So it was like that I noticed was different, because you're not like growing up with each other, so you're trying to keep a relationship going. It's hard. It's family dynamics, and
you got to have a level of, you got to try too.
Oh yeah.
And I've definitely failed on that many occasions of like not trying to reach out or like trying to make things as solid as they could be, but
right. Well, and we all get to a point with that too. I mean, you do the best you can do, but I notice as you get on in life and you create your own family, or you start working, you're living on your own. I mean, your family or like your, new situation, you get into a new relationship, you get married, you have kids. I mean, that becomes the center of your focus, and like new relationships, you're focused on each other. And if that grows and that becomes something else, then you're growing the next step and the next step, or you're finding the next step. I don't know. It's just always a process. And that's the crazy part about adulthood in life.
Yeah.
It's,
But with family relationships, like with brothers, sisters, things like that, parents, or good friends that just kind of grow apart a little, not necessarily grow apart, but they go on to have their families and stuff like that. You don't see them as much.
Yeah.
You can know the strength of a good friendship if you can go a year or 2 years or even months or whatever of not even talking to them.
Right.
And once you talk to them again, it's like there was no time in between.
Exactly.
So like that's a test to good friendship and good family bonding and things like that.
Definitely.
So
it
kind of just depends on that too.
Yeah.
How strong you are in your relationships.
I agree. Yeah. Oh, I'll never forget my best friend out in Seattle. I miss her like crazy. She basically took me under her wing when I went out there. I mean, I was trying to find my way. I got into a business out there. Like, that's why I had moved out there originally. Went through some stuff, ended up out of it. But I loved Seattle. And she talked me into, there was 2 other friends, but that had talked me into staying. If they wouldn't have done that, I mean, my life, you always wonder what life could have been like, or, And I'm happy. I like where my life is. I wouldn't change anything. But then it's what led me to my friend Nicole. And it's one of those things too. We could talk all week, every day, but then we can also go a month without talking. And we're just picking up right where we left off. I mean, that's how our text conversations are.
Right.
And I've always called her my big sister, and I'm her little sister. And, that's just the bond that we've had. But that's one of my closest family, like sibling things. Is even though she's not blood, she's my sister. Yeah. And I appreciate those kind of things. I've had some great friends in my entire lifetime, and people that I consider friends, that I may not even have seen for the last year. But it's those kind of things that you just treasure too, and you want to hang on to those too, for sure. Yeah, and I've had friends who are closer than some of my family, and ones I would trust more than some of my family. Oh, for sure, yeah. It's all, that's when they're family too, it's like, definitely. Honestly, your family is who you want it to be. Like, it is. You're not bound by blood in any circumstance. Like, you are, but you're not, you don't have to be. Right. Like, you don't get to choose your family. Nope. But really you do. Yep. Like, exactly. Just because you're blood related doesn't mean you have to accept some of the people that are forced upon your life. Oh, definitely. Because there are toxic people, and if you don't want them there, you don't have to have them there. You try really hard to have them there, and it just doesn't work. I mean, I've got things like that, definitely, or family. I've got things like that I've had in my lifetime, and it goes back, like what we were just saying. It's like, if you don't have that, you're lying. Like, exactly. And honestly, if there was ever a family that was just like the picture perfect cookie cutter, they all loved each other so much, I'd find something weird. That's weird. That's something weird there. They're probably a cult. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I could see that. Yeah, there's no such thing as that. Like, you gotta have, but also you have to have some of that too. Like, right. It just, I guess, depends on the level of that. You don't want it to be so bad that you can't repair a relationship, but right. You're always gonna, your kids are always gonna have butt heads at some point with each other, things like that, and you just grow from that, Oh yeah, and it's learning how to work through that, and I know, like, going back to kind of the picture perfect family, right? I mean, that's how I see, like, Facebook. I have to remind myself that all the time, because everyone likes to pretend that their life is this perfect, like, dream trips and all these things. And I mean, I'll catch myself being like, wow, like, what am I doing wrong? Or, and I hate that, because that's not the kind of person I am. I'm a realist, but I'm a very positive, very motivated person. And I'm proud of the life that I have. I have no regrets on anything, but you do sometimes look at that stuff. I mean, we're not all perfect. So you do look at that stuff sometimes and you think, well, I'm doing something wrong or whatever. But then you got to remind yourself, it's not perfect behind those pictures either.
Right.
Like,
well, people 9 times out of 10 want to show the best sides of themselves.
Right. And why wouldn't you?
Right.
I mean, right.
I mean, you're never going to see a picture of a couple like arguing.
Right.
It's always going to be
True.
them smiling, and even if there was a picture of them like in a bad mood, they're not going to post it.
Right. Oh,
you know?
definitely.
So it's like, yeah, you can just post picture after picture of like how great your relationship is, but
Yeah.
that's obviously not the case all the time.
And that's why I appreciate people that put hard stuff out there. I mean, like, I enjoy the good sides and the bad sides, just to know how you can be there for people. But there's some people that are like, I shouldn't post this because it's so negative. And it's like, why? It's a part of your life. And if
Right.
that's how you see Facebook, that's okay. Like, it's totally okay to do that kind of stuff because I see a different side of people. And I enjoy that. Not enjoy seeing them having a bad time, you know what I mean? But it's like...
It's refreshing to see
Yeah.
both sides of
Exactly. And to know that, like, maybe something you can do to be there for them or something, too, that they might not reach out. But if you know they're having a bad day, you could send them a nice text.
Right.
Or you could do, something. I don't know. I just kind of appreciate being able to be there for somebody. Or you could send them a coffee card or do something that's going to make their day better. And most people aren't looking for that kind of a thing, but it's just nice to see the other sides too. But I mean, like, I'm not going to post negative, unhappy, heartache stuff,
Right.
Either. So,
But some people deal with things differently, It's
Yep.
like, especially when you have a group of, you got your family and stuff like that you can like lean on to. Some people
Right.
don't, so maybe they have to reach out and find it some other way.
oh, exactly. Yeah.
But like if you're struggling, it's easier to and some people don't want to talk about that openly. Some people want to just like they'll find their own circle to deal with that within, and
Yeah.
But I get when some people do need
Yeah.
to reach out, and I'd rather that than people pretend like everything's okay,
Oh, exactly.
because that's when you deal with some other
Oh, yeah.
rough situations. But
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
yeah. I was going to ask you, so just while we're still somewhat on the topic of like family and things like that.
Yeah.
And your kids are like, one's just getting into school.
Yes.
The other, Coulter is what, like 3?
He's going to be 3 in November. Yeah. Yeah.
So young kids,
hmm
what do you find as a parent is the hardest part of raising a family in like this weird current world that we're living in?
A lot.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Honestly, the biggest thing, this is such a tough thing because in this world, there's no safe place.
Right.
The school shootings, the feeling of not being able to protect and having to trust, and this is not against the school, but having to trust people that truly I don't know to watch my child all day and to protect them. I don't even feel safe here in Billings anymore.
Yeah.
And, like as my dad said too, in the past, he goes, I mean, it's not like, I mean, I feel things have gotten worse and I feel like we all think that way. But my dad goes, it's also because of Facebook. He goes, it's never, he goes, there's days that things were scary back when you were a kid too. So to be honest, it is the world we live in of not being able to protect your kid when they're not with you.
Right.
I'm not really somebody that I have 2 people in this world that I let Peyton and Coulter go with. And that's my dad and my mother-in-law. And it's not that I don't have others it's not that I don't trust anyone else, but they're your pride and joy. They're your precious child. Like when they're not with you, you have no clue what's going on.
Well, it's like, it truly, I think, is due to the overwhelming amount of information that we are able to consume.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that, like, fear porn is a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, not only distributed, but consumed.
Right.
Like, for some reason, we're always fascinated by the obscene or like the bad stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, and that's what the news pumps out. I get it. Like I too, as a parent, would be very cautious.
Yeah.
It's like when you hear all these stories of either kidnappings or like, predators.
Yep.
And just like or babysitters.
Oh yeah.
Just either abusing kids or like just the worst stuff you could even imagine.
Oh, it's awful. I quit watching Law and Order SVU.
Oh,
because we've talked about this because you watch it too, right?
Yeah.
Chris and I in Seattle constantly watched it. We had our kids.
How could you? How could you consume that?
I tried watching it again a week ago, and I even told Chris, like, because he went to bed, and I stayed up. I wasn't ready to go to sleep yet, and both kids had gone down, and so I was like, well, I'm just gonna try an episode. I turned it off in 10 minutes. It was just, because I start thinking of every real world problem that can possibly happen. I start, and with Peyton now going to kindergarten here in the next month, absolutely cannot fill my head with that anymore.
Right.
I'm so thankful I have Coulter right now that at least it's only one, but I'm going to have two of them within the next couple of years in school. Yeah. Because he's not that far away.
And that's like double the possibilities of issues and things like that.
It's like at least right now, him, I can keep. And I feel bad saying that because you as a parent, when you're a parent, you teach your children, you're put here on earth to grow them, to, bring them into the world. But in this day and age, I just want to keep him,
of course,
and Peyton just in my wings and not let him go. Well, and it's hard.
It's definitely, I think it's just like it's built us to be paranoid.
Yep.
This whole, the whole like fear thing and just the consumption of all the negative. And then when you kind of sit and break it down, it's like, it's not all, that stuff doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
It's like, you got to really like bring it back to reality, I guess. Cause it's like, it's so often I'll think about walking to work and it's like, what are the chances like a drive-by shooting just happens? Probably not at all.
Right.
But it's like, because I've seen it so much just on Facebook or things like that. It's like, you don't not think about the possibility.
Right.
Same with like the school shootings and stuff. It's like that. Think about the overwhelming amount of schools and how, the probability has got to be just so small, but it's not zero.
Exactly.
So like, that's why we're so paranoid of that stuff. Think about Billings alone has, God, it's got to be 50 schools.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like, never really had anything to the extreme of that. But,
we get the occasional lockdowns,
right?
But it tends to
be resolved pretty quickly.
Exactly. And I'm thankful. It seems like they're all super kept safe. Mm-hmm. It seems like the Billings schools have it down. I don't know personally, obviously, with Peyton just now getting into it, but from my understanding of, friends whose kids are, it seems like they're pretty well, they're trying to protect them the best they can, which is all that a school can do. You can't, our preschool kids, when I taught preschool, we did lockdowns with them at their age, which is sad.
It is,
but we did, and we had an incident. It wasn't within our school, but there was a shooter on the loose from a building 2 buildings over that ran to our parking lot. I had a bunch of windows around, and I vaguely remembered it until it kind of came to my brain the other day. Chris and I were just kind of randomly talking about it, because he's struggling with this whole concept too. Although he's away from them all day at work, he knows I have them. Mm-hmm. So there's no, nothing in his mind, but now with the school thing. And he kind of brought this thing up to me, and I was like, oh, wow, I do remember that now. I put it out of my brain because you don't want to think about it. So then it wasn't a huge deal, really. Even my boss came in and was like, it just, make sure doors are locked, but the kids still got to play. So they didn't make it too big of a deal. The biggest thing, kind of to veer with the, raising kids in today's day and age too, is the bullying in school. Yeah. Is a terrifying thing. And making sure that you're raising your children to be the most respectful, down-to-earth kids, to learn to deal with something if that happens too, though. Mm-hmm. So, it's all the in-school things, just because that seems like that's a lot of your, aside from up until you're about 5.
Right.
This is the rest of your,
I think too, though, there's probably that there's got to be an age gap where eventually you become more confident in them.
Right.
In, like, their decision making and the things, like, you're confident that they're going to do the right thing. And
oh, yeah.
I don't know where that is, because even high schoolers, you know, that's got to be a different level of paranoid.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe not so much that you're worried things are going to happen to them, but that they're going to do things that are going to make you that aren't going to make you very proud.
Right, right.
So it's a different kind of, I don't know, but definitely as for young kids, I would definitely be, you know, there's got to be a certain level of paranoia that every parent experiences, especially
definitely.
when they're not around.
Yep.
Because it's like they're vulnerable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they're vulnerable in learning things when they're away that you don't want them to learn.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That would be one of the things I would be, just as far as like kids, as the amount of stuff they are able to consume without you knowing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like it's such a huge benefit and such a huge curse at the same time. Like, you have a vast knowledge or the ability to learn and see anything and everything, and that includes the bad stuff too.
Oh yeah.
All the good stuff, but all the bad stuff. So it's like,
oh, for sure.
It's just it's hard.
Yeah. And you know they're going to. I mean, you know that it's going to be one of those kind of things, but yeah.
You just got to be able to mitigate it and teach them. Yeah, I mean, it's only inevitable that they're going to see something bad or do something bad, and it's a learning thing.
Oh yeah. Well, and I'm just like, with another thing is them holding their own, you know, standing up for what they know is right.
Yeah.
Peyton knows, oops.
Oh, you're good.
Peyton knows that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm scared she's going to want to fit in so much that I hope that we've raised her up to this point to stand up on her own 2 feet. I talk with her about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you see something that's not right, you say something, or you stay away from it so you're not involved in it, you know, type of a thing. But you don't know until you get there, and that's the scary part.
Yeah. Well, and with the bullying thing too, it's like, I couldn't stand the idea of somebody being mean to my kid.
Oh. Ooh.
Or I don't even like the fact of kids being mean to other kids, like,
exactly.
Not my kids.
It's not okay. It's just not.
But at the same time, it's hard to, you know, there's no way you can avoid that.
No.
And so it's just a matter of, teaching your kids what's right, what's wrong, how to stand up for yourself.
Exactly.
You know, things like that.
Yeah. Well, because, Peyton all the time says, but what if a kid's mean to me? And I flat out told her, I said, there's going to be.
Yeah.
You know, that's the world we're in. There are mean people.
And that's the best thing you could tell her, is because you don't want her to go in there with like this blind optimism that everybody's just going to be nice.
Exactly. I mean, I'm going to tell her the good, the bad, and the ugly, just because I can hide things from her now for her feelings. But why? Because that's not teaching her about life. That's not telling her about, okay, so if this will happen, most likely, this is what you do. Right.
Well, and then at least you're being honest with her, and she's not going to be like, well, I thought it was going to be this, I thought everything was going to be just nice and perfect, and then it's like, no.
Exactly.
Not exactly, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. Ugh.
Today's day and age, raising a child.
But I also imagine you just kind of have to, like, wing it a little bit sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You're not going to be prepared for every situation, and
no.
You kind of just got to think on your feet.
Oh yeah. I just remind myself how blessed I am. I'm living my dream. I have wanted to be a mom. I mean, it sounds so weird to say it, but I played mom all the time when I was a kid, and it was like, oh, I'm going to be a mom someday, and I'm living my dream. There was a point I was like, oh, 2 boys would be awesome. And then I wanted a girl, so I wanted 3. And I'm so glad I have 1 boy and 1 girl. Like, 3 would be great, and if I had ever had 3, I'd be the happiest person ever. But 2 is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, today's day and age are already hitting a time where, like, everything's so expensive. And I want to be able to give Peyton and Coulter everything that we possibly can. Mm-hmm. And, and I mean, Chris feels the same way, too. I mean, he would have been fine with a 3rd, but we're happy where we're at. Because it is also, raising kids in today's day and age is so hard. because of everything going on. And I mean, it's like sad to see what they're going to grow up into. But my dad even flat out says it. My grandma said it. They all felt that way raising kids too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I feel like each generation feels...
Of course.
The same thing, but there's different extents to it. And
well, think about, like, if you were a kid in the 1800s, and then you are raising a kid in the, like, coming into the century, and now there's, like, cars, and there's, all this there's always new technology, and always new advancements, and, like, medicine, and food, and, like, think about all the... That's the other thing, too, is it's, like, all these, like, chemicals in foods and, like, processed foods are really bad now. So now you gotta, like, focus on what's healthy for your kid.
It's so hard.
Yeah, well, and it's just getting harder and harder.
Yep. Oh, exactly. I mean, every day we come out with a new report, of, like, a new chemical found in something cancer-causing or, whatever. And it's like, I mean, like, we had a pack of strawberries that we fed. That we all ate, and it was like a few months later it came out that the packs of strawberries from Winco or something, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? And like, they can't tell you what exactly it is. None of us got sick, so we're obviously okay. But it's like scary to even think about what to eat nowadays, or like foods you think are healthy, that you've like been told growing up are, but there's new things coming out nowadays, and it's like, if you feed your kids this, you can't give them too much.
You're right.
Sugar, for instance, you're supposed to have under 25 grams for, like, women and kids. And I could be completely wrong, so if I am, I might be. But from what I had read, that's what it is. But it's almost impossible sugar content to stay under that with all the additives and stuff nowadays, too. So that's another thing. I mean, you could kind of put that into raising kids nowadays, too. It's like raising them to be healthy. I mean... I want to rack my brain trying to, like, come up with new meal plans and new, I mean, speaking of that, that's a whole, like, we were just talking about a couple weeks ago, the whole working out thing, and that's a whole new thing too. I'm trying to get on a better nutrition thing for my family, but I just started that myself within working out, and it's just, that's another thing, raising kids, like, that's what I want to do too, though, is teach them with working out, and they work out with me now.
Yeah, well, so that's good.
I mean, it's all good
to instill that at a young age too. That, like, being healthy is good for you, and
oh, definitely.
Because I didn't really get that message when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Not to say that I have ever really been too unhealthy, but like,
right.
Yeah, a lot of fast food meals growing up, and my grandma did cook for us a lot, so that was definitely a benefit.
Oh, for sure.
But it's like, sometimes it's just easier to get a Happy Meal and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, sometimes I feel like eating out is healthier than some of the just like chips and stuff like that you get at the grocery store. And it's
sure.
like, or just like boxed mac and cheese, things like that. Like, I don't know. It's all bad. Like, literally the best thing you could do is just to cook all the meals and make sure it's all like organic shit, like, that you can't do that. Like, no. It's almost impossible to do that, especially with kids and stuff. It's I get off work and I'm like, I don't want to turn the oven on and make my house hot, or like, I don't want to put in the effort to do that. Like, it's just so easy to go get a Taco Bell, what I mean?
It is. Grocery shopping, I'm going to be honest, gives me anxiety. Like,
really?
Thank goodness I have my kids going grocery shopping with me all the time. I mean, they learn a bunch of things while we're there, too. I'll be honest, sometimes they do get the phone, too, because Coulter's, I think I've told you this before, likes to try to climb out of the cart now.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's fun. So, he kind of learned now, instead of, like, sitting through the little holes in the cart, he likes to sit the long ways. So... So he'll sit there and he'll look at his phone, like, or at my phone sometimes or whatever. But, I mean, I try to make it a healthy experience, too, where we're talking about the healthy foods. And Peyton's big into that. She likes to ask, okay, Mom, strawberries, healthy. Mm-hmm. But there's some things answering nowadays where I'm like, I mean, it's healthy technically, but depending on when you use it, like fruits, time of day that you should be, or all the sugar content that's in fruits or whatnot. But it is fun. It gives me anxiety to go grocery shopping, but we make it fun, and that's what counts. And
I actually like grocery shopping because, I don't know, there's just something about it. I don't know why. I just do like shopping. But, like, I dieted hard for a good 3 weeks, something like that.
Around the wedding time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yep.
And it's just so hard to maintain. Like, because I love pizza and I love, you know, burgers and things like that. Like, and my problem is, once I'm done dieting, it's just like the wheels come off and it's just like consume
right.
as much fried food, as much sugar, things like that. And
then you get the neighbors that give you the gift card for Taco Bell, so you get
yeah. That was at Christmas time because
right.
my plan was to like have the healthiest year of my life. That was like one of my goals.
And here comes the Lees. Here you go.
Hey, I used that thing up quick. And I don't know. I think you just kind of got to find balance with a lot of that stuff rather than going hard one way or hard the other way.
Oh yeah. We went a point in time. It was just easier. We had, I don't know. I mean, like we were fine, but we were going through some rough stuff, and it was just like, a loss of family, things like that, you know. And we did for quite a while. It was just like, all right, well, what's the next, you know, fast food restaurant and it was just like, yeah, I just got to a point, you know, I finally started losing weight, but I was getting so sick of, like, gaining it. And then, you know, I'm like, well, this is just not a good example to set for your kids.
Right.
And so, I mean, we're pretty good at getting back on track, too. But it's easy. It's easy to fall off of it. And it is, like you said, it's easier to just, you know, or to make an excuse. Okay, this is going on today, so it's just easier to grab something.
Yeah, absolutely.
My Monday nights are my bachelorette nights. I love The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. It's my guilty pleasure show. And so I'll try to figure out the easiest thing to do. Some nights it's like, okay, Chris, just bring something home from work or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I hate doing that, but it's like, I mean, I have kids. I don't get to just sit and watch my show. It just doesn't.
Well, and
so I've ended up just cooking anyway because.
One thing I've always thought about too is it's like, yes, you know, obviously you have to have a level of healthiness in diet, in exercise, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you also gotta feed your soul.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
I mean, if you're doing all that stuff and you're just miserable,
yeah,
then what good is it?
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
For sure.
Like if it's, treat yourself.
Yep.
You know, you gotta be able to make your soul happy.
I agree.
As much as your body.
As Chris says, food is life. So
it is. And it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not sitting here saying like if food makes you happy, then eat whatever you want.
Right.
But you should indulge sometimes, and like you should relax and watch what you want, the things that make you happy in life, because I think you're more likely to live longer if you're happy.
Yeah.
Than if you're, you know, just living a healthy lifestyle.
I could see that too.
And being miserable. Now, if living a healthy lifestyle makes you happy, then perfect.
Then go for it. Right.
And obviously, if you're, you know, consuming McDonald's every day, eventually you're not going to be happy.
No.
So it's like, but yeah, if you want something that's going to, if you want some ice cream and that makes you happy,
right.
Don't do it every day, but give your soul a little something that makes you...
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Definitely.
I've always thought that was important, too. That people underlook that.
Well, I always hate those diets where it's like... And I mean, if it works for you, great. But where it's like, get rid of everything. Well, you can, and you should get rid of the unhealthy stuff. But like, okay, if you are somebody that enjoys a coffee...
Yeah.
Have a coffee every so often. Just don't drink it like for me, I was drinking coffees daily. First off, that's a money waster. Second of all, I've told you, my Starbucks drinks are the really sugary, like 1,000 calorie. Ugh. It's awful.
Yeah.
But it makes me happy. Like pumpkin spice is coming up. I know we're still in July, but pumpkin spice is coming.
Basic.
And I am. I will be happy to admit that.
I mean, if you like it, you like it, you know?
Right? Exactly. I mean, I have these little pages on Facebook that are like fall lovers. I'm like, fall is my favorite.
Me too.
Fall lovers and all this stuff. And but anyways, like that makes me happy. So I'm never going to just not have one. But I've learned to, okay, you cut back. Maybe have it twice a week or once a week. Or start with having it only twice a week.
Yeah.
Then go down to once a week or whatever and just make it a treat deal. Yeah. And I've learned that makes me happier. I feel better. I don't always have my coffee in the morning. I just have to kind of gauge, how I'm feeling that morning because sometimes it makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
Which I hate because it makes me happy. But it's like at least there are mornings I can have it too. So it's just, I don't know. Well, I probably went off weird on that subject.
No, I get it. Like, yeah. And that's kind of how I feel too with like alcohol. It's like, yeah, it's fun. Like I go out, I have fun.
Yeah.
If I did that like 4 nights in a row, it's not. I'm miserable.
Exactly.
And like that's not fun.
No.
So now my soul isn't happy. My body isn't happy. It's just a big old cocktail of, no pun intended. It's a big old cocktail of misery.
It is. No, I agree.
But like, yeah, to indulge, whether it's fun, entertainment, food, what have you, like, yeah, treat yourself.
Yep.
And it will make you even happier in the long, because if it's just a treat rather than like all the time.
For sure.
Because there is a such thing overindulging.
Exactly. Yep. And you just have to learn that. You just, yeah.
Yeah, and you exactly.
Yeah. Agreed.
I was gonna say too, because I mentioned in the intro about your nail.
Yes.
deal.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave a little link in the description. So.
Oh, cool. Okay, thank you.
Kind of, what's that all?
So they're amazing. They're 100% clear nail polish strips. So you get rid of the bottle. You don't have the little nail polish bottle anymore. They come in a pack of 16. Mm-hmm. They're awesome. They come in a little strip. And you take it out, and you've got a couple plastic parts you take off. You stick it on your nail, and I don't know but they just.
So they're not acrylics.
No,
Okay.
But see, the thing is, you can get acrylics done and still put these over the top. We have a bunch of people that actually do that kind of thing. They like to have the longer nails.
Yeah.
I'm a nail biter. I hate it.
Yeah,
I
am too.
Are you? Yeah, and it's not fun because then you're never. But like for me, having color street on my nails because I don't want to bite them off because then it's all gone. Mm-hmm. It helps me to not do it. So if you're a nail biter, these are actually super helpful. But yeah, I love it. I started it in it was October of 2019. It was the month before Coulter was born. And I just got a little sample from my mother-in-law, one of my co-mother-in-laws, and she was like, I think I could see you doing this. Chris really pushed me because he thought it'd be a really good thing. And it was. But like I waited until I probably didn't super get into it until the pandemic. Just because, I had a newborn. So it was like, I'm having Peyton and a newborn.
It's a lot to balance.
Lots to balance. But now, I have an amazing VIP page with awesome gals. I think I have like 87 people right now.
Damn.
I'm getting to the point now I'm actually wanting to grow the business, and I have a person or two that might come on and join. I already have somebody underneath me on my team. So that's kind of fun. I really do it for fun. And I enjoy selling them, and I have a really good following of friends that actually really love them. But yeah, they're really cool. I'm just 100%. They smell like nail polish though, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. And
just in case you want to get that hit,
right? Exactly. You still feel like it's the no dry time. That's the best part about this.
There you go.
Like Peyton puts them on. She's almost pro at putting them on herself. So a 5-year-old can put them on, and it's pretty. It takes you a little bit to kind of get into getting them right or getting them right at your cuticles or whatnot. I have the problem of I like to have them on all the time. So I've had to teach myself, give myself at least 3 days of in between and using like nail strengthener and cuticle oil over the top of it too. And
so what do you just take them off like normal with
nail polish remover? Yep. Yep. So you just same as you would if it was actual nail polish, and you just take the nail polish remover. I have little clips, and so I take cotton rounds, and I just douse them with nail polish remover. You clip them on, and then they just wipe right off.
Okay.
It's like it takes like no time to take them off too, so that's pretty cool as well.
Nice.
So we have a whole nail and hand care line too. They have a lotion. We have nail polish remover as well, nail hardener, cuticle oil. They just came out with all that too, so that's pretty fun.
Cool.
So yeah.
So what's the name of the page?
So it's Color Street Nails, and it would be under Larissa Lee.
Okay.
for my page.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, I can even, do you want me to send you it to post the link or whatever?
Yeah, I'll just add the link to the comment or
Okay.
to the description. So
Perfect.
if anybody's interested in that, go ahead in the
awesome.
description and just click the link and you can check that out.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. What else was I going to ask you? Well, I will say this. I wanted to do this because I thought this would be fun. Because I originally had it planned to have you and Chris on at the same time.
Yes.
But Chris was too scared.
He's a goofball. You get these and he gets all jittery and nervous. And he'd be fine if he did it.
Yeah,
I
think
really would.
Everybody gets in their head about it. And, and that's fine, though. I've had several people who were just, like, camera shy or whatever. And
maybe someday we can talk him into it, though, and do, like, come back and have him on, too.
I always thought it'd be fun to have, like, a couple on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just to get, I'm sure there's plenty of fun stories and stuff. However, I am still going to do this because I thought this would be fun.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Newlywed Game?
Oh, God, yes.
Well, how long have you been married?
So it's 5 years now. We've been together 8, but almost 9, but together 5, married 5.
Okay. So, hardly newlyweds.
Yes.
You would think you probably should know your husband fairly well.
Yes.
Let's find out how well you do know
Oh,
him.
boy.
And then we'll give him a call and see how correct
Ooh, good idea.
you are.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to... It's just 10 questions that I wrote down.
Okay.
And then we'll go through them.
What if I get camera shy and forget all of it? Then I look like I don't know my husband.
Maybe you don't.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, so we'll and I'll write your answers down. And then we'll call him and see how many you got correct.
Perfect.
And of course, some of these I'm sure are subject to change, and you think it's one thing, but
definitely. Well, because you can always change.
Sure.
The way you are sometimes, yeah.
Some of these are not. So you have to get them right or they're not right. We'll start off pretty easy.
Okay.
What is Chris's favorite food?
Steak.
Steak?
Rib. I should say actually ribeye to be exact.
Specifically?
I mean, like when we're grilling, he grills himself a big old ribeye.
Okay. So if there was one thing on this planet, the last thing he could ever eat, it would be a ribeye steak.
I can guarantee you it would be a ribeye. I mean, if not, I'm just going to go run somewhere because...
That'll be interesting if it's exactly that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. His all-time favorite movie?
Dukes of Hazzard.
The
General Lee. He is obsessed with.
Is it the original one, or?
I would say, yeah.
Not the remake, right?
No,
Although I did like the remake.
I mean, he likes it. He enjoys it. But he...
Interesting, I didn't know that.
Loves the Dukes of Hazzard.
That's
if it is something else, then I don't know what the heck to do.
Right. Where was he born?
Here in Billings.
Okay.
Well... Yeah, so he was born here in Billings, at the hospital here in Billings, but he's lived in Roundup. So what do you, like, if you're talking...
He was born here.
Born here. Okay, yep.
Which hospital?
So it was when it was St. V's.
It's still St. V's.
Not St. V's. Yeah, St. V's. What?
Or was it Billings Clinic?
No, St. V's.
Okay.
Yeah, because Deaconess was what Billings Clinic used to be, right? St. V's. I'm pretty sure it was St. V's.
I still call it Deaconess.
Do you?
Yeah.
I've done that before, for sure. Questions are always scary.
I know. This is the scariest one.
When you don't... Oh, no.
Because if you don't know this...
He'll probably divorce
Yep.
me. Oh, shoot.
What is his birthday?
Oh, September 25th, 1987.
28?
27.
27.
He's the one that I always have to roll my eyes at because he gets... I think it's our anniversary and my birthday mixed up sometimes.
Right. Well, and that's kind of a guy's worst fear.
Forgetting
anniversaries
right.
or forgetting birthdays, things like that.
Well, and now I'm stupid because it's the 25th, not the 27th.
Okay.
The 87 threw me off. I do that, and trust me, I know what his birthday is.
So it's the 25th.
25th.
Of September.
25th of September of 1987.
I feel like moms are usually pretty good at remembering birthdays and remembering things like that. Or women are, just in general.
But to be honest, like, we'll get to the doctor's office for a well-child check for Coulter. I know his birthday, but it's like when somebody asks you, you blink for a minute.
Yeah.
I say it right away, pretty much, but it's like at the same time, you're like, Because you're also trying to do between 2 kids and remembering which one you're there for, and it's, yeah.
I mean, I sometimes blank on my own birthday. I'm just like,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
which is next week, by the way.
I know, I was going to say, I thought I saw that on Facebook. I was looking at the upcoming birthdays, and I was like, yeah, July is his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Doing anything fun?
Getting wasted. No, I mean, last year I did the barbecue.
Yeah,
which
that's
was
right.
fun.
Yeah.
But also, like, I was too busy cooking and making sure everybody else was, like, taken care of that I was like, I didn't even get to hang out with anybody, really.
Yeah.
This year, going out, other people can serve us.
Hey, that makes sense.
Yeah, I took a 3-day weekend, so.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It'll be fun.
It will be.
All right. Also, just because I'm curious now, why do you think it is that women are more prone to knowing dates? Is it because they just like celebrations more than guys?
It could be.
Because that's why, I mean, I personally remember dates a lot because of that too.
Because it's fun to remember for going,
Yeah, I like celebrating.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being like...
For me, I'm an organized person. So I like to have, like, I have everything written down. I have notebooks for, okay, like Peyton has a gymnastics notebook. She has a new school notebook. Like Coulter, his doctor checkups.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a notebook that I can, like, keep track of stuff. I like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so remembering stuff. So I don't know if that's just more in our blood. I don't know. Most women I know as well remember that kind of stuff. It's the husbands that are like, and now I feel really stupid that I said the 27th because I know it's the 25th.
Well, obviously you corrected yourself.
Right, exactly, because I know it, but yeah, exactly.
You didn't say June 5th.
Exactly.
So that's pretty good.
Exactly, but that could be, I think you could be right on that. I think we might just be programmed for, I don't know.
I mean, maybe I'm just being misogynistic, so. All right. What is his biggest fear?
Oh, geez. That's actually a really good question.
Maybe not necessarily something that you would know or should know, but...
Right, no, but...
It's not like the most make or break.
I feel like that one could change a lot, though, too, with him, because... And he's a big animal lover. I don't know. Like, I was going to say spiders, but he doesn't mind spiders.
Final answer would be...
Being left alone? I don't know. But I'll just go with that one.
Just alone?
Yeah.
I mean...
I could be completely off on that one, but...
Well...
My fears change quite often, so I think that, like... I don't know, this one could be, too... I mean, losing one of our kids.
Sure, I mean, that's a...
Maybe that's what we'll go with.
We'll put them both and
okay.
See how that...
I mean, because you could go, like, a ridiculous way and just be like, anything, whatever. But, I mean, I know we've talked about it. It is a huge fear of both of ours.
Well, and that makes sense, too, as a parent.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So maybe, yeah, I'll just put both of them down.
Okay. If there was one celebrity that he could meet, who would it be?
John Schneider.
Who's that?
The Dukes of Hazzard, Dukes of Hazzard,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would go with.
Okay.
I'll be surprised if it's someone else, but...
Did he play any sports as a kid?
And
if so, what were they?
No, not really. I mean, he wasn't a big sports person.
No?
No, So, I'm trying to remember what he said he tried.
We'll say high school.
High school? No,
Okay.
No.
No sports.
Not that I know of, no.
So, just as a backup question on that same topic, any favorite sports teams? Like if he had
to... The chart... Was it the chart? What do you guys always talk? The Chargers or something? I mean, if he had to pick one, that football team.
Yeah.
That he always makes fun of you for or something. Dang it.
Well, I'm a Broncos fan.
Yeah, but like, remember the ones that you absolutely can't stand that you guys were talking about one time? I feel like it's the Chargers.
Okay. I'll write that down.
Right? That is a team, isn't it? Okay, yeah.
And that's a rival team of the Broncos.
I'm pretty sure that's... But I mean, like, he doesn't really care.
Sure.
Either.
But if he was going to, like, stake a claim or raise the flag of anybody, it would be them, you think?
I would think.
Okay, that's what we'll write down.
Man, you did some good ones, because now I'm feeling super unsure with some of them.
Okay, favorite music artist, whether it's a solo artist or band. Favorite music.
He likes so many. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, like, he loves Minithin. Have you heard of Minithin ever?
No.
He's not a huge, big artist yet, and I'm trying... North Carolina, I feel like he's out of. I don't know that he'd actually say that's his favorite, though.
Okay.
He's talked to him online before.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. Oh, geez. He likes so many, I wouldn't even know what to pinpoint, to be honest.
Okay, give me 2. That you think he... What would he say? What do you think he would say if I asked him, who's your favorite... Like, if you had one band you could ever listen to for the rest of your life, or one musician...
Because he loves country.
Okay.
Well, so Justin Moore
Okay.
is one of his country, so I'll say Justin Moore.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of different songs he loves of Justin Moore. And then I'll go... I mean, let's see what else. I'll go with Minithin.
Okay.
For the other one. That one could be wrong, though.
Is that another country?
I guess you could kind of call it country, yeah. He's kind of like redneck. It's weird. You might have to, just to see what he is, you might have to look at it.
I'll
Just
definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, 2 more questions.
Okay.
Is Chris a summer or winter person? Would he prefer summer or winter?
I would say summer, because once it starts to get nice, that's when we start to actually like Montana. When it's winter, we hate it, because you just get bored around here. So I would go with summer.
Okay. But is there a spring or fall, perhaps, that he would prefer?
I'm pretty... spring is probably more his alley.
But between summer and winter, we're going with summer.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Final question.
Oh boy.
And I think I even know the answer to this one, honestly. If suddenly he was gifted $5,000, what is the first thing he would do?
A car. Well, $5,000 wouldn't buy a Charger necessarily.
Could be a down payment.
But it could be a down payment. I could see that.
It would be something involving a car.
It would be something involving a vehicle,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what I would assume as well.
That I am, like, confident on.
All right, you want to give him a call?
Yeah, we could do that. You want me to call him then? And then
I don't know. I don't even know if I have his number.
Okay, let's do that.
But go ahead and put him on speakerphone and hold him up to the mic there.
Okay.
And let him know right away that he's on the pod.
Okay.
And that you're not being held captive over here. He'll be like, why is she calling me?
Like, oh no.
Like, she's right next door.
And he might not answer right away. He's kind of... Let's see here.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, we got some questions for you. You're on the podcast.
Okay.
So, can you hear me, Chris?
A little bit.
Oh, shoot. Shoot, hang on. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Coca. Hi, Coca.
Hi. That's funny.
Okay, all right, put Daddy back on, guys.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we played...
Love you, Coulter. Love you, Peyton.
We did a little bit of like a newlywed type thing where I asked her questions that she should know about you, and we're going to see how many of them she got right.
Oh no, this sounds awful.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite food?
Steak.
Okay, she got that right. What is your all-time favorite movie?
Probably Tremors.
Oh, okay.
What Dukes of Hazzard, dude?
Dukes of Hazzard isn't a movie; it's a series.
Oh, well.
Okay, well.
Okay, I guess.
Maybe there's a technicality on that one.
Okay.
That is true. So,
Never mind. Fine. All right.
well, we're still gonna count it as wrong.
Jeez.
Okay. Where were you born?
Yeah, where is Billings?
Okay, so she got that right.
I would hope.
Here was the one that is like the must get. What's your birthday?
September 25th.
Yeah, I like how you didn't know.
He's
Almost.
like,
I had to think about it a little bit.
Do you want to get? I can get you in trouble and ask what her birthday is.
ooh, yes.
It's May.
What day?
It's May, the whole month.
26th.
26. He's right.
Okay.
He's right. Good job.
That's like the must get question for guys.
All right, we're okay. We're okay.
All right. What would you consider to be your biggest fear?
Monsters?
Monsters?
None monsters.
Is that yours, Peyton?
Yeah.
Or is it the tree branches in the bathroom window?
Sweet branches.
Same thing, right? Monsters.
So what is it, hun?
Tight spaces.
Oh, claustrophobia. Interesting.
Okay.
So she got that. She thought it was that you said being alone.
Or, yeah, being alone or losing the kids.
Oh, yeah, I was going pre-kids on that one.
Well, that one's an obvious one, I think.
Right, for sure.
Okay, so if there was one celebrity that you could meet, who would it be?
Ooh, who would it be?
I don't know. He would be my papa.
Peyton said her papa.
Ooh, Papa's a celebrity, huh?
Yes.
Ooh, I'm not really sure. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Wow.
Well, we'll come back to that one, okay? So
Think about it.
keep that one mulling around. So I asked her if you played any sports in high school.
Yeah?
You
Did-
did?
No. Oh, you asked her?
Yeah. So did you play any sports in high school?
No.
Okay, that's what she said. So as a backup question, I asked if you had to she said you're not a big sports guy, but if you were going to stake claim into any team that you would root for, who would it be?
The Chargers.
Yeah, she got that right.
Woo!
That's the important question that women have to answer is what's your guy's favorite sports team?
And I got it right.
She got it right.
Woohoo!
Okay, so this was kind of a tough one here because apparently there's lots of options. So who would you say is your favorite musician or band?
Probably my favorite would probably have to be Newfound Glory.
Okay.
I said Justin Moore.
Oh, I guess I should say Cutthroat.
There you go.
That's the right answer. Okay, we'll count that as a win. Between summer or winter, what do you prefer?
Summer.
Yeah.
I despise being cold.
Yes, he does.
And final question. If you were gifted $5,000, what would you do with it?
Ooh.
Maybe you would buy some.
I'd buy stuff for my truck.
Maybe you would.
Yeah, we basically just assumed it was going to be something to do with vehicles.
Oh, yeah. So there we go.
So still an A grade, I would say.
Okay, good.
I think the only ones were the music and fear.
Which really could be like
Oh, and
anything.
the Dukes of Hazzard thing. Oh, wait, we got to go back to the celebrity question.
Yes.
Did you think of who you would want as your celebrity meet?
Your papa?
Papa. Even Papa Mike. Ooh. I don't know.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
I think it would be really cool to hang out with Bruce Willis.
Okay. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, actually.
You've told me John Schneider.
Well, yeah, but he's like,
Old.
well, and he's on like Snapchat or in Facebook and stuff all the time. So it's almost not as like star-ish, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
that's a big star. It's just kind of, he's almost like an everyday kind of guy now.
Okay.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you're going big star, yeah, Bruce Willis would be pretty sweet.
Newlywed Game questions suck. Because it could be any.
Carrey. How fun would that be?
Is what?
Jim Carrey.
Oh, I thought he said Katy Perry.
Oh.
Jim Carrey would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all we got for you on that one. So,
Thank you.
All right, I guess wifey passed the test.
yeah.
Yay.
What about me?
You're funny, Peyton. Okay, I'll be home in a little bit, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye, Dakota.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
They adore you.
It might have been like 50-50, actually.
Okay.
But you got the important ones right.
Well, I was going to say, it's like some of those questions, like from when we first started dating to like now, things change.
For sure.
You know how like everybody does kind of change in life with how you are from when you're younger to when you start to get a little older. So
Right. Well, I mean, you like I said, you got the important ones that don't change, like birthday
Exactly.
and things like that. So
that's what you should know.
Right.
So,
who would be your celebrity meet? If you, because I find that to be an interesting question because, I mean, it just kind of depends on what you like. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many people I would love to meet.
and I'm the same way. Like there is a bunch of different ones. I don't know. It's funny. I would love to meet Justin Timberlake. And I was a huge NSYNC fan growing up.
Uh-huh.
Here's what's funny though. I didn't like Justin Timberlake. I liked Lance Bass and JC.
The ones that like aren't popular.
Exactly. But I did. It was so weird. And like, hugest NSYNC fan ever. So I'd love to meet Justin Timberlake. But like, if we had to go, I don't even know.
Actually, you know what? Here's a better question.
Okay.
If you could have dinner with you and 3 other people,
Ooh.
I think that's because what kind of conversations can you have?
Right.
And then you also get the option of like exploring other worlds, music,
True.
movies, political,
Yeah.
if that's something you're into. But like, I mean,
Right.
it would be kind of cool to like meet Barack Obama, like,
Yeah.
or any former president.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's just kind of a cool gig.
Oh, yeah. And to just learn different things through them.
But like, there's so many athletes that I would
Mhm.
want to sit down with.
Oh, for sure. I don't know. That is a hard question for me because it could go so many different ways.
Oh man, that's so hard.
'Cause you need to answer that too.
I mean, I think mine for sure, and I would be missing people out on this, would have to be Joe Rogan,
Mm-hmm.
Maynard James Keenan from Tool. He's the lead singer of Tool.
Okay.
Probably my all-time music idol.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a toss-up on this one because it would probably either be Peyton Manning
Okay.
or Adam Sandler.
Okay. See, Adam Sandler, I like that one.
Yeah.
I've always loved Adam Sandler. Yeah, that's a good one too, for sure.
Because the first 2 are intellects, so that it'd be interesting to hear what they have to say. Plus,
Mhm.
like, I'm just inspired by them both. But
Oh yeah, for
the,
sure.
the last one wouldn't necessarily be an inspirational thing. It would be more just like, it'd be so cool to meet you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I would say for me, I'm gonna have to go. Jim Carrey's always been a favorite of mine, so I'd have to go Jim Carrey. I am a huge Tim Allen fan.
Oh, okay.
I love Tim Allen. So Jim Carrey, Tim Allen.
Oh.
Yep. And I can't think of, just because like I love them as a duo, it'd be fun to see them in person together. Like, I can't remember his name, like his actual, but Al.
Oh, Richard. It's Richard something.
So Richard,
Yeah, I think that's his name. Richard Carr? Something like that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to look it up.
Not that he's like all-time favorite, person ever, but I like him. But I think it'd be fun to see the two of them interact. So, and then, I don't know, Jim Carrey'd be an interesting one at the table with everybody.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I think that would be mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, that'd be a fun dinner.
It would. You'd be entertained. I mean.
And what would be your favorite food eating at that dinner? Mine's... Steak used to be mine.
Uh-huh.
And I still love steak.
Okay.
But if I was going to eat one food for the rest of my life, there's no doubt in my mind it's pizza.
There you go.
Pizza's the greatest.
You can't go wrong. Coulter would agree with you.
I could eat pizza every single day.
Pizza's amazing. Mine would have to be, I'm a spaghetti freak. I love spaghetti.
Italian food is...
I agree. I worked at an Italian restaurant for a little bit, so.
Me too.
Did you?
Olive Garden.
Oh yeah. Bruno's was where I worked.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so, yeah, I would have to go with spaghetti. I mean, that's, whenever I'd come home from college, that's what everyone knew to make for me.
Huh?
So.
Nothing, you can't go wrong with that.
You can't. That is for sure.
Well, should we wrap this thing up?
Sure.
And I told you before, I like to close my episodes with a positive or motivational message from the guests, how I do every episode.
I love it.
What do you got for us?
Okay, I did write mine down. Because I'm lame.
Yeah.
And so basically, for me, I've been working on getting out of my comfort zone a lot lately, just doing the quote-unquote uncomfortable things. Especially pushing myself in ways with my Color Street business, with growing into more of who I want to be. Because as a mom, you do still want to remember who you are as well, and I'm trying to remind myself that all the time because I get so lost with my kids. So I'm working on all this becoming the best version of myself. So I have, the biggest thing is, like we were talking about, for my kids to see a happy, healthy me, and with my working out, viewing me that way. So my 2 quotes that resonate with me, I just kind of felt like I should probably share all that so it goes into it. The 2 quotes that I have is, do one thing every day that scares you. Eleanor Roosevelt said that. And it's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person back then, which is Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland.
I really like that one, actually.
That's a really good one. Yeah. And it resonates in me every day. Reminds me to, not look back on the past or not look back at how bad things, maybe I messed up or I did something.
Mm-hmm.
That was yesterday. I'm new today. So I like to remind myself that. So
something similar to that I always tell myself is, don't regret your former self, because you can't go back and step in the you don't necessarily it's easy to be like, oh, I regret not doing that, or why did I do that?
Definitely.
When it's you don't know what, if you were in your shoes then, if you could go back to the way you felt, the things you were thinking, you were a whole different person, and
for sure.
that it impacted the way that you decided to make those decisions.
Yep. I completely agree with that.
And you can't maybe not regret, but you can't question your former self and why you just got to trust that you did what you thought was the best thing at the time.
Exactly. And I feel that it really brings you into who you are as a person today from past mistakes, from past whatever. I don't regret a single thing from my past. I don't regret a single thing. Are there things that do you always wish you could do differently? I mean, for sure, but at the same time, I don't regret anything because it has made me who I am today. The parent I am, the person I am, the wife I am, the friend I am. So
yeah, you got to learn.
Exactly.
I mean, we're not born knowing everything.
Nope.
We're born knowing nothing.
Exactly.
So
that is so true.
And what was the first one again? The
first one was, do one thing every day that scares you. And Eleanor Roosevelt said that.
I like that one too.
But it's just awesome because it's step out of your comfort zone, because you're not going to grow yourself in your safe space.
Yeah.
As much as you want to, you won't.
Take chances.
Exactly.
Take risks.
Yep.
Right
and I've always been that kind of person, so.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It. And it's good to, for the kids to know that too.
Exactly. It helps them grow them into a better person too, and somebody to help grow themselves.
Yeah.
You can only do so much as a parent, and then you do have to let them fly, basically, and learn. And
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, this was a lot of fun.
It was.
So,
it was.
And like I told you, it kind of just flies by.
It does.
Once you start getting going, it's like, and I feel like we've had like full on conversations like this before, just like
Oh, yeah.
coming home from work, and it's just like, oh yeah, and we didn't even mention all the crap
Oh,
on here.
man. I know. And I was ready to get into that.
I mean, we still have some time.
Hey, well, let's get into it. No, it was ridiculous yesterday.
Yeah.
8 a.m. Because I don't know what time you came by the house to check on everything.
Yeah, it was like 5 when I came over.
Oh, okay, so it was way later.
Yeah.
He was here until 9 o'clock, one of the guys.
Jesus.
9 p.m.
Just for anybody who's unaware, we're doing, we got like,
Asphalt.
road work going on in our neighborhood, and I didn't even know they were doing that.
Nope. They sent a letter, but it's like shoved in with the, what do you call it? Shoved in with the bill, like our monthly bill.
Yeah.
So it's like at the back. So if you don't really pay attention to that, you're not going to see it. And the only reason if I wouldn't have looked at that, it's because Fred had told me. I feel bad for him. He's really, really, really a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to do everything he can to get everything done this week. Or not this week. Oh, my goodness.
You're good.
To get everything done. And, of course, the park wanting him to have all these different things done. But we had the tree guys last week.
Mm-hmm.
They almost had me blocked in at one point. And it's just, the thing is, the reason it annoyed me yesterday, it wasn't supposed to start till Monday.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating.
Ugh. Well, and like, I guess it's kind of, I've been house sitting, so
yeah.
I'm not even here. And that's
Right.
why partially I didn't even know. I was like, I came home, I was like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah. I almost texted you. And like I had told you with not feeling good yesterday, I had just slept for hours and hours. But I was going to text you in the evening anyway.
Be like,
And just be like, hey, enjoy. Because they're supposed to have this one blocked off. But the guy was there until 9 o'clock last night just dumping random...
they're going to block the freaking...
That's what they talked about. That's what Fred said. It's supposedly that the 15th Street is getting blocked. And
For how long?
For till the 28th.
That's
So what's that,
annoying.
Friday? Yeah.
Yeah.
But people are going out it anyway, so I mean...
Whatever. I mean, I'm just walking anyway, so...
Right. But still, I don't know.
Ugh. Always annoying when you get... And then they were leaving bottles and stuff in our
Yes.
yards. Like, water bottles. There was like 4 of them. I was like, what the hell is this? You're just
And-
going to throw this in my yard and
Yeah.
you leave it here? Like, there was a garbage right there.
Exactly. And I mean, we had a full on, like half, or I shouldn't say full on, half full water bottle just sitting in the creases in the, or like right on the edge of our lawn.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. I mean, it's one thing, like, I understand construction, and I understand, like, they have things they have to do, but they're walking all over the lawns, they're sitting across the street in their chair.
Yeah. Well, and I saw them blowing a bunch of dust, like, onto one of the houses down there. I was like, what are you doing, dude?
Just rude.
It is.
And then to start, it's fine if it's early, but I wish, like, we had, because we got blocked in we didn't, I wasn't feeling good, so we didn't go fishing anyway.
Mhm.
But we would have been blocked in for most of the day. Because they were out there with the big rollers, and they have all of it, like, chopped up to the edge.
Yeah.
And so it's just, like, to try to get in and out. I think Chris got out once yesterday, but they watched him, like, you shouldn't be doing that.
It's like, how the hell am I supposed to get out of here?
Exactly,
Like,
and you're not even, they expect us to, the note said to park on either 15th or 14th.
are they going to do the whole street?
That's what it says.
They're going to take off the whole street and then repave it.
That's what they're claiming. So whether it happens or not, I don't know. But that's what the note said, is that they're doing the entire street and all the whatever cross streets
Yeah.
too. Yeah. So this should be an interesting week. I'm like, going grocery shopping. Hopefully because we're not leaving our cars out after we got our truck stolen a few
Yeah,
months
for real.
ago. I'm not going to leave my car where I can't see it.
Well, and I would just leave my truck over at the shop.
Right.
But I guess the nice thing is I am staying out at...
right.
I'm house sitting, so at
Yep.
worst case, I can just drive over there to work and then drive back.
Exactly.
And
And
then
then you can walk in to come check on your house.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that, though. Peyton's got that covered.
Yeah, Peyton's always the security for my house when I go out of town.
She sure is, and she loves it.
That's awesome.
Coulter's getting into it, too. So you got 2 of them now. Yes.
Always on lock. Who needs
Built-in security.
Who needs Kenkos or is it Kinkos?
Kenko?
Kenko?
Same thing, yeah.
Or Safe Light or
Safe Light sounds right, yeah.
No, Safe Light is a
Is that a car place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Safe Light's a freaking window. Simply Safe. That's what I was trying to say.
There you go.
Or Vivint.
Yes.
I got Peyton Co.
Peyton Co.'s way better. And it's watched all the time.
That's funny.
She gets out, she looks out the window. No funny business, right? And I'm like, I don't know. You got to tell me.
Seems like there's always something.
Oh, I know.
Well, we got our street rant out of the way.
We
so
did. We were ready for this.
We snuck it in there. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure to go check out the nail thing.
Yep. It's my so we'll do 2 links. One's a VIP page, but then I can just send them straight to the actual web page too. So if they decide to join one or the other, we could do that too.
No, we're just going to send them straight to you.
Okay, that's perfect.
We don't want nobody else getting...
Okay, perfect.
So,
okay,
check that out and take some risks.
Yes.
Live life. Try not to live in too much fear. That's the hard part. Find that balance. But most importantly, don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it.
Just gotta keep on keeping on.
Why you talking to microphone? I got a back right here. Back of my back of my back of my back of my back of my
Got it.
back of my 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 Life's a garden.